I do want to play Jamele Hill, speaking of so-called journalists who have it all wrong. Here's this jerk, Stop 15.
Of course, as you all know, in the wake of Charlie's murder, there was an incredible amount of angry discourse from the right, blaming the Democrats, blaming liberals, saying, you're the reason this happened. Only to find out, surprise, 22-year-old white dude, love guns, raised by two parents, lived in a good home, dad is a minister, also a sheriff. Didn't check it in them boxes y'all thought he would check, did he?
Okay, first of all, a coat of mascara would be your friend. I'm just going to tell this to you, woman to woman on television. You need a little work, and you should have them back off the camera a little bit because you are not attractive enough to have that extreme close-up. Push away your laptop, Jamele, and add a filter or two. Honestly, like, we actually don't use any on this show because I do put on makeup so I look presentable, but you need work because you can't both be ugly on the outside and the inside. You need to choose one, okay? Choose one. That is disgusting. That was absolutely disgusting. Mm-hmm. Fuck her. Mm-hmm. It's weird how she lost the points about him being a furry, loving, trans dating, I don't even know what this guy's fetishes were, but leftist ideology infected guy who wrote on his bullets anti-fascist catch and notices bulges OXO, etc. Didn't make her little monologue.
Yeah, we got some beefaroni stew brewing, and I want to talk about it. All right. So you just saw that there, Megyn Kelly calling out Jamele Hill on what she had to say about Charlie Kirk and the assassin, which honestly and truthfully, I think Jamele Hill was wrong because the assassin most definitely wasn't right-wing. He was raised, right? He was raised by a Republican family, but converted to leftist and was indoctrinated. His family said that, and based on the things that we know about him, it's clearly obvious. I mean, he literally wrote on the bullet, "Hey, fascist, catch," which is absolutely crazy. And so when you take that into account, plus his family saying that he was switching, you know, he wasn't Republican anymore. He was definitely left wing. And I believe a friend or a family friend said the same thing. One of the neighbors talked about some of the things that he was into as well. So he was definitely a left wing guy. But anyway, I want to also play what Jamele Hill had to say in response because she responded to Megyn Kelly and what Megyn Kelly said there. And here that is. Here's that. Check it out.
I saw that Megyn Kelly, no friend of mine. I'm no friend of hers. I don't even like her. I don't know her. Actually, the last time I saw Megyn Kelly, here's what's so funny. Last time I saw Megyn Kelly, this would have been when Obama was still in the White House. I cannot remember if it was first term or second term. I want to say it was second term. I'm pretty sure it was second term. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure it was. But either way, I saw Megyn Kelly at the White House. And it really got me to thinking. I saw her from a distance. I didn't go up to her. I don't know this woman. So, you know, of course, she was still at Fox, very aware of what her reputation was in terms of what she contributed as a journalist. But what I found so interesting is when I saw her at the White House, it was during the time of year, it was the holiday season. And what happens is during the holiday season, White House has a bunch of parties. There's different groups every night. Like one night, it might be media members. One night, it might be entertainers. Another night, it could be a mixture of the two. It's different audiences. So it was a lot of media members. This was like, I guess, the media version of the Obama's holiday party, where they invite people from both sides of the aisle, come there. And sometimes the president is there and first lady, sometimes they're not. On this night, they were there. And I remember seeing Megyn Kelly in the receiving line to get a picture with the Obamas. And I thought that was super interesting because I was thinking, now don't you spend pretty much your whole damn broadcast talking about how this man ain't shit. And here you are lining up to go. And that's when I knew, like, oh, for a lot of people that are in our business, and especially who are in the position of being considered to be conservative commentators, a lot of that shit is fake. I was like, oh, this is like WWE to them. This is like wrestling, where they like playing a character. See, what you see here is for real. Like, this is who I am, whether I'm talking to you on YouTube or y'all catch me out in the street, I'm the same person. And a lot of them can't say that. And so I was really taken aback. And I was like, oh, I got it. That's the game. Peep it. Right? All that being said. So over the course of the years, Megyn.
So here's the thing. Just because we disagree with someone doesn't mean that we don't have, or we would disrespect that person. I vehemently disagreed with Joe Biden. But if I had an opportunity to take a picture with Joe Biden, I damn sure would. It's a freaking president, at least at the time, right? Because she was talking about at the time Obama was a president. And even still today, he's a former president. Would I take a picture with him? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I disagree with you completely, and I've stated that time and time again. Never voted for you. Not at all. Wouldn't even consider it. But I would still take a picture with you. It's a picture. But that's the difference between the right and the left. You see what I'm saying? See, she just exposed something that's major right there. See, the right, we can separate things. We can disagree with you and still be cordial with you. We don't have to disrespect you or call you all types of names or, oh man, F you, like the left does, right? She, I guarantee you, would probably say, nah, I ain't taking no picture with Trump. Man, F Trump. You know, something crazy, right? But yeah, I'll take a picture with Obama. Yeah, I'll take a picture with Joe Biden. I'll take a picture with Kamala. I think the politics are absolutely foolish, but I'll take a picture with them, absolutely. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's not like these opportunities just fall out of the sky, right? These well, except for Kamala, those are former presidents. Right? In the case of Kamala, she's a former vice president. Like, why wouldn't I take a picture with them? It's a picture. Like, that's silly talk. And even if I did take a picture with him, none of you guys, I guarantee it, would be like, oh my goodness, Rich is a traitor. He's a traitor. Look at him. You know, like we don't do that over here. But if you did that on the left as a Democrat, oh, everybody, I guarantee you, if she took a picture with Donald Trump, everybody in her comment section will be calling her a traitor. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Y'all remember Gretchen Whitmer when she went to the White House and she was trying to cover her face so she wasn't in a photo op with Uncle Trump? She knows what was going to happen to her. You know what I'm saying? It's silly, but she just exposed something major. But let's jump back into it.
Kelly has often had a lot of words for me, a lot of words about me. I generally kind of try to keep her name out of my mouth because I don't like to amplify the thoughts of stupid people. But all that being said, this time I'm going to make an exception. And I'm going to tell you why. But first, let me play the clip of what Megyn Kelly had to say about me.
Have it all wrong. Here's this jerk, SOP 15.
Of course, as you all know, in the wake of Charlie's murder, there was an incredible amount of angry discourse from the right, blaming the Democrats, blaming liberals, saying, you're the reason this happened. Only to find out, surprise, 22-year-old white dude, love guns, raised by two parents, lived in a good home, dad is a minister, also a sheriff. Didn't check any of them boxes y'all thought he would check, did he?
Okay, first of all, a coat of mascara would be your friend. I'm just going to tell this to you, woman to woman on television. You need a little work, and you should have them back off the camera.
All right, we're going to skip over a lot of this.
I come back as somebody, especially as a woman, because I'm
ugly on the outside and the inside. You need to choose one.
Oh, so she went there. Now, generally, when I come back as somebody, especially as a woman, because I'm very aware. Oh, and by the way, Megyn, here you go. All up in there. Get a look at that this non-mascara face. That's what you call natural beauty. You wouldn't know shit about that, I know. So generally when I attack somebody for their words, their ideas, I typically, especially dealing with women on TV, I never say shit about their looks. And the reason I don't say anything about their looks is because this is something that women in television often have to deal with, is us being criticized by our looks rather than how well we do the job, how well we speak about issues, how well we control a broadcast. Like, that's usually put to the side and people judge us based off how we look. But I wouldn't expect somebody like you to get that, because that would actually require your dumb ass to critically think for once in your life, which we know you don't do. And that is why I chose to respond. And I'm sorry that you up there, however old you are, looking twice as old as you actually are. My bad. You know, because that's the thing about the way this melanin is working in this body. You don't know if I'm 28, 38, 48, 58, 68. And I'm proud to come on live and present myself as I am in my natural state, because I'm not ashamed of what I look like. I don't begrudge any woman that uses makeup. Not at all. I use makeup. I'm on TV. I do that. Right? That's a part of our job. That's what we do. And so your advice to me is to get some mascara. My advice to you is to actually get a personality and a persona that doesn't always make you look like a racist and a bigot and trash. I'm comfortable with where I am and what I've done. You, on the other hand, are known as the lady who thinks Santa Claus is only white and that blackface is cool. You know what I'm saying? Me and you ain't the same, girl. We ain't the same. And so what I would say is, you may not like my opinions. You may not like who I am. You don't know me. You don't even know me enough not to like me, because you don't know me. You ain't never had a conversation with me in your whole life. You don't know shit about me other than what you see. And if you want to judge it based off that, that's fine. It is the challenge that I have accepted. It is the duty and part of the job. People go by what they see. They don't know you outside of your commentary or whatever. So yeah, I get called names all the time. But what you're not going to do is call me ugly, because this face card ain't never been declined. What I would say that you might want to do, and shout out to my boy Don Lemon for bringing this to our attention. Instead of worrying about what I look like, about what my mascara I use or don't use, perhaps you should be more worried about what's happening in your house.
Maybe people would like you, and the women would like you more if you weren't such a, what you said about my former colleague. And by the way, Megyn, let me just say something. Deal with your own house and tell your husband to stop looking at my husband across the room. It's weird.
Megyn, you got more pressing things to worry about than what the Jamele Hill saying. You got more pressing things to worry about than what's coming out of my mouth, according to Don Lemon. So if I were you, I'd deal with that and worry less about what I'm wearing. Worry less about what foundation number I'm using. If I'm using MAC products or Fenty Beauty, I wouldn't worry about that. I worry about my house, because we good over here. And finally, let me leave you with this, in case it was any doubt after this about how I feel about you. I'm going to make this abundantly clear. Here's what I think about you.
Fuck you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Fuck you, fuck your mama, fuck your daddy, fuck the horse you rode in on, fuck everybody who loves you, who cares about you, who has ever supported you in your life, who has become a part of making you the person that you are today. Fuck you, them, all of y'all.
Have a good day, Megyn Kelly. And you all out there, you all have a good.
All right. Yeah, that was quite unnecessary there at the end, but let's talk about the whole. I know I touched on it earlier in the video, but slightly touch on it again. What this all boils down to is Jamele Hill lying and saying that the assassin was right-wing or alluding to it. He most definitely wasn't. He was raised Republican. That has been abundantly clear. He was raised Republican in a Republican family. But when he went off to college, he was indoctrinated. Yes, that happens. Stuff like that happens. It's why Charlie Kirk was going around 2 college campuses. He saw what was happening. We all see what's happening on these college campuses. And it's indoctrination. It's not education. And proof of that is, this has been some years now, probably 3 years ago. I uploaded a video where a guy was going around on college campuses and he was wearing different traditional outfits, right? It was a white guy and he wore like a traditional Native American outfit. I also believe there was one where he wore like a traditional, he dressed up like what was it, a Mexican? No. Maybe it was a Mexican or something, but he was wearing these traditional outfits and he was asking people, the college students, if it was terrible, if it was bad, if they liked it. And they all were like, no, that's terrible. That's cultural appropriation. That's horrible. Take it off. You're disrespectful. Some of them even got angry at him, all this different stuff. And then he went to the people who would have traditionally dressed like this, grown adults, right? I want to see, I think that might have been like a PragerU video, if I remember correctly. Anyway, he went to the people, right, to Mexicans, like grown adult Mexicans that weren't on a college campus, and he asked them, does my outfit offend you? And they all were like, no, we love it. Like, that looks amazing. They all loved it, every single one of them. So the people that these college kids were offended for weren't even actually offended. Like, they loved it. But the college kids, they were all offended. That's indoctrination. Why are you offended for something that I'm not even offended by? It doesn't make sense. You're offended for me, but I'm not even offended. That is the definition. Well, technically not the definition, but you guys understand what I'm saying. That is textbook indoctrination right there. So, he was indoctrinated with left-wing ideology, and he went and did what he did. Nobody on the right is going to take out the number 2 guy. And I know some people might say J.D. Vance is number 2 guy because he's the vice president. And sure, you can make the argument for that. But in terms of importance for the movement, Charlie Kirk was the second guy. It was Trump and then Charlie Kirk. If we take God out of the equation, of course, because God before all. But in terms of on this people on this earth, right, in the Republican Party, it was Trump and then Charlie Kirk. Can anybody argue with me on that one? I don't think anybody can. I don't think anybody can. So if you're on the right, why would you take out the number 2 guy? Like, that doesn't even make sense. The second guy, the guy who's the second most important in this party, that's the guy you're going to take out? Make it make sense. It doesn't make any type of sense at all. You're not going to do that. If you disagree with him, you might disagree. I've disagreed with Uncle Trump, but I would never do what that guy did. That is absolutely crazy. Absolutely bonkers. So first off, just on its surface level, it doesn't even make sense that he would be right wing, right? Doesn't even make sense at all. But of course, the left has to, try to circumvent having any type of blame placed on them, of course, because everything is Republicans' fault. It's either Trump's fault or it's the entire Republican Party's fault for literally everything. Everything. Have y'all noticed that? They just blame us for anything and everything. Anything and everything that happens, up is Trump's fault. Up is Republicans' fault. Just every single time. It's never a Democrat's fault at all. Never. When's the last time y'all heard a Democrat politician say, yeah, that was our fault. We did that. Couldn't tell you. Right? I know. Never. About a minute after never. You know what I mean? But anyway, y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions about all of this. I'm not gonna talk about I'm not gonna talk about the whole looks thing that they got going on between each other. I'm gonna let y'all debate about that in the comments, and I'm just gonna read and grab my popcorn because I know y'all go. I know there's gonna be some folks with some funny stuff to say, so I'm gonna let y'all do that. All right, I'm not gonna participate in that one. But yeah, man, y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Stay safe. Peace.